The views and opinions expressed in this video are solely those of the Fat Bearded Vinyl Guy and should not be taken seriously by sane people. Hello again, Vinyl Nation. I am Matt, the Fat Bearded Vinyl Guy. Had a bit of a beard trimming mishap, so this will be the look for a bit. At any rate, I am back in the vinyl lair with another Too Late record review. First off, give me a like, subscribe, and make sure you get notified of all the freshly trimmed goodness coming up. FatBeardedVinylGuy.com is the website with the links to the social media. You can give me a like there. Today I am talking about the fourth studio album from the piano man Billy Joel. The album is called Turnstiles and was released a week after I was, in May of 1976. When I first heard the full album only 5 or 6 years ago, I knew all but 3 of the songs on Turnstiles. Most I knew from the Greatest Hits 1 and 2 collection, and I think most of us are very familiar with this collection. And 2 songs I knew from a live album, 2000 Years, the Millennium Concert from New Year's Eve 1999. That said, let's drop the needle. The album starts off with a drum intro reminiscent of the Ronnie Spector and Ronettes classic Be My Baby. This is something Billy Joel loves to do, paying homage to music he liked in his younger days. He would end up doing just that on an entire album, 1983's An Innocent Man. But I'm getting ahead of myself, so back to saying goodbye to Hollywood. In fact, Ronnie Spector even covered this song with the E Street Band later in 1976. Billy wrote this song because he, well, moved back to New York from Hollywood. The version on the Greatest Hits collection was a live version from Songs in the Attic, and that song was recorded at the Mecca in Milwaukee. The album version is pretty much the same except for some string arrangements in the choruses and the coda, and the outro is extended. Each song on the album has a corresponding individual on the album cover. Say Goodbye to Hollywood is the guy in the back with the sunglasses and the suitcase. Life is a series of hellos and goodbyes, and I'm afraid it's time for goodbye again. Summer Highland Falls I first heard on the Millennium Concert live album. It's a mid-tempo song of a relationship going sour. My favorite line of the song is the first one. They say that these are not the best of times, but they're the only times I've ever known. The rest of the lyrics are just as good, and the music is equally gold. Bill plays an arpeggiated pattern on the piano that if it was on guitar, I'd call it jangly. It's one of my favorite Billy Joel deep cuts, and even the piano man himself calls it one of his favorite compositions. We choose between reality and madness. It's either sadness or euphoria. All You Want to Do Is Dance is one of the songs I didn't know until I first spun this record. Bill's girl doesn't want to stay home and listen to records. She doesn't want to talk about music and why the Beatles don't get back together. She just wants to go paint the town red. The rhythm section of Doug Stegmeyer on bass and Liberty DeVito on drums is great on this song. Stegmeyer plays a short rising staccato pattern that leaves a lot of space for Liberty's percussion, and he is a metronome on this track. By the end of the song, Bill's done waiting for his girl, and he's done with her. The girl with the headphones is this song's representative on the cover. You don't want to deal with the future, you don't want to make any plans. Oh baby, all you want to do is dance. New York State of Mind starts off with that jazzy piano intro that just makes you think of New York City. At least I do. My New York City experience consisted of flying into and out of JFK and spending a night in a broom closet disguised as a hotel room not far from said airport. Billy got this idea for this song literally on a Greyhound bus on the Hudson River line as he was going back to New York from Hollywood. Richie Cannata's sax solo and fills are sultry and dripping with that melancholy blues attitude. It was never released as a single, but is one of Billy Joel's best known songs. I know what I'm needing, and I don't want to waste more time. I'm in a New York state of mind. It's a great end to side 1. James is another song that I didn't know about until I heard the album for the first time. It's a more subdued song, and Billy plays a Fender Rhodes while Liberty DeVito is sparse on the drums. I only picked up a hi-hat and a kick drum, and even then, it's way back in the mix. It's mostly Billy on the Fender Rhodes and Doug Stegmeyer on bass. There was no one person that Billy wrote this song about. It's an amalgamation of several people he knew at the time. The guy in the back with the books and the sourpuss is this song's personification on the cover. It's not my favorite song, but I don't dislike it either. Do what's good for you or you're not good for anybody. The Angry Young Man starts off with a blistering piano pattern that was reminiscent of the drum intro to Wipeout. The prelude part of the song is about a minute and a half. This song shows the angry young man seeing himself as a martyr for the causes he believes in, but the bridge comes from an older world weariness. I once believed in causes too, I had my pointless point of view, and life went on no matter who was wrong or right. It's a song that at least should still be relevant, because no matter how many angry young men, women, or other are out there, life goes on and the rich and powerful puppet masters still pull the strings to keep themselves rich and powerful. That last bit was my own commentary. But there's always a place for the angry young man, because there will always be something for young people to be angry about. The last 45 seconds or so reprises themes of the song's prelude. This song's representative on the cover is... I'm not going to comment. He struggles and bleeds as he hangs on his cross, and he likes to be known as the angry young man. I've Loved These Days I first heard on the Millennium Concert live album. It's a beautifully written song of Billy leaving the glitz and glamour of Los Angeles. But some lines I think I can relate to just getting older. We're going wrong, we're gaining weight, sleeping long and far too late. The money comes, the money goes, we know it's all a passing phase. The music is sparse in parts, with Liberty DeVito's drums dropping in and out, and string arrangements back in the mix giving atmosphere. My favorite lines in this song are a nice bit of irony. We drown our doubts in dry champagne and soothe our souls with fine cocaine. Drowning in dry champagne is a nice trick, and I don't know about the soothing qualities of cocaine. The rich couple is the representation of this song on the cover. So it's time to change our ways, but I've loved these days. Miami 2017 is my favorite deep cut. I did the air quotes because he's done this song as a live opener, and I don't know if that qualifies as a deep cut or not if it's been played live on multiple tours. At any rate, it's a story about a post-apocalyptic New York City. A lot of the residents left in Cadillacs, others went to the Battery, the ferry at the south end of Manhattan, but the Union was on strike, so they didn't sail out. Thankfully, there was an aircraft carrier that was able to pick up the Yankees, but not the Mets. The last verse is from the view of an elderly person telling stories about how the lights went out on Broadway back in the day, after they all relocated to Florida and the Mafia moved to Mexico and took over there. There are not many who remember. They say a handful still survive to tell the world about the way the lights went out and keep the memory alive. The album fades out on a quiet repeating piano pattern. The old lady and the child on the cover represent this song as she's telling the story to the younger generation. If you've been keeping score, there were two songs not represented on the cover, Summer Highland Falls and New York State of Mind. I haven't seen a definitive explanation, but I have seen a theory that does make sense. Billy Joel himself is Summer Highland Falls, and everyone has the New York State of Mind. Overall, it's a very good album, and really one of my favorite Billy Joel albums front to back. His next album, The Stranger, would rocket Billy Joel to being Billy Joel. But Turnstiles was the next step in that journey. That's it for now. FatBeardedVinylGuy.com is the website with links to the social media, so give me a follow. Here, give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and check out some of my other videos. They don't all suck. Also, drop a comment below with your thoughts on the Turnstiles album. Until next time, say goodbye, my baby, and I will catch you on the B-side.